Alright, it's Monday. I'm home from work a little bit early because it's raining. And I went ahead and fired up the heater, not really because I'm chilly, but I need this polyurethane to cure. It's still kind of tacky. I want to sand it a little bit and then give it another coat. So that's why the heater is running. And in the meantime, I got parts for the big block, so I'm going to put some of them on it. And I got to check the valve spring heights too. But I think I'm going to go ahead and use up some of these parts laying around. I'm tripping over them, you know. And then we'll see what we get into here. Boy, that thing looks good, don't it? What you talking about? I think we only got about a quart on the floor.
Maybe one.
That's alright. It's looking pretty sweet, ain't it? A few more coats and it'll be right. Alright, that's not why I turned the camera on. The reason I turned the camera on is I've been working on the big block here a little bit. Put the water pump on it, put a plug in and a nipple, and put the fuel pump on the front pulley. Should have painted it, but I didn't. And then I put the air hose in. I've been checking spring height with my new spring checker. And on the exhaust there, it measured at 1.918. So I added a 15,000 shim, which brought it to, I'll show you, 1.90 almost exactly. And I'm just going to leave those rotators in there because if it rotates the exhaust valve and prolongs the life of it, it seems to me that's a good thing. But I'm not a very bright guy. I'm a hack. Working on a motor. Okay. That's what she thinks of me. I'm hustling pretty hard here, so not much time for video, and I'm spreading a little gravels, or rocks as some people call them, but you know, yours to me. Maybe I ought to move my old truck. Sure would hate to forget what I'm doing and back into it. So I'm going to do you a Carolina cold start. It's like 80 degrees. Here we go. It's alive. Alright, I think I got most of my outdoors work done. It's getting kind of hot here this afternoon anyways. So I think I better get my button gear and put this 454 the rest of the way together, because pretty soon I'm going to want to get this car out and take it for a ride. Wouldn't you? Alright, well, just as soon as I said I'm done with my outside chores, they flagged me down. I had to work about 2 more hours on something else in the hot sun. But that's okay. Everything outside is covered in pollen, is yellow, thick with pollen, which is causing my kind of gravelly voice. It ain't the stuff that's going around, or they say is going around. All right, so where we left off last was I put 2 valve springs in and shimmed them up correctly. I'm gonna do that. Keep doing that. Hear that? Somebody's exercising their Second Amendment rights. All right, hooked up my air hose in preparation. It's got just a little on the intake leaking. I feel just the slightest breeze on the exhaust. Didn't feel anything on the exhaust on this one, and it's a little bit on the intake. But I don't think it's enough to worry with. I picked up a set of heads for this Pontiac when I built it, and had it at the machine shop, a very reputable machine shop that builds race motors, and had them do a 3-angle valve job. And I did a leak down test on it, and they were blowing more than that. And seems to run okay now. I didn't have that out all winter, and I fired it up, dug it out and fired it up just so I could warm up enough for that desk we built. And now it's almost 90 degrees outside. Ain't that the way? Alright, I'm gonna quit yakking now and start crack-a-lacking, as Chevaholic would say. Now I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes Mr. Heavy Chevy makes stupid moves. And one of them is this. This is my torch that I love to use for gas welding and all that, like that right there. And I had forgotten this, but when I took this apart one time, the threads were galled and it kind of messed them up. But I managed to get it. It's a very odd thread. I managed to get it back together and seal up. And then I forgot I had that problem. And I took it apart to use this tip, which is acetylene only. It's great for soldering. It's not too hot, but it galled up real bad then. And I can't get it sealed anymore. So here comes the stupid part. Or the really stupid part. Or the more stupider part. I ordered this tap and die, a 1/2 with 28 thread. Because I thought it was 28, but I was wrong. It's 26. And I would have known that if I had reached up in here. Did I put it up in there? What did I do with it? Doggone it. Stand by. Aha, it was under the torch. If I would have used this handy little Starrett thread gauge, it's actually 1/2 by 26, which is weird. So I gotta figure a source. I got a label stuck to my belly. Figure a source for one of them and order it so I can fix my torch. I can't figure out where to buy parts for this thing anywhere. If one of y'all know, let me know. It's like one of them Cobra DHC 2000s. I really like this torch. So I'm going to have to make it work again. There's just no way around it. Alright, now I'm going to go work on the 454. Alright, remember how I was saying earlier Mr. Heavy Chevy sometimes does some stupid stuff? Well, look how stupid this is. I've been clicking right along, setting my valve springs at the right height. Does anybody see what the trouble is here? I just spotted it. Alright, I'm gonna pause. Y'all write down in the comments what the trouble is. Alright, did I give you enough time to figure it out? Well, here's the trouble. Rocker arm ain't gonna work too good like that, is it now? That's how it should be. I don't understand here. I'm gonna have to do a little research. Seems like I recollect, as I was reading through things about these peanut port heads, that some of them have different valve lengths. And I bet you that's what my trouble is. Betcha. Anyways, let me do some research and I'll come back at you. But right now, since I've been working outside and sweating, I'm a little stinky. I know y'all can't smell it, and be thankful for that. But it's really more than I can bear. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take a shower. I'm getting hungry. And even though I could miss a meal or two, the youngsters and the wife always say they'd rather have me grill. So I'm going to go get cleaned up and do that. And maybe if I feel froggy, I'll come back after having done some research. Or maybe I won't.